only on Primetime News Network.
Hello, everyone. I'm Perry Swanson. An experiment has been underway for some 3 years now in Houston County, Georgia, that is growing by the minute. Looking for innovative ways to end hunger and promote greater involvement in agriculture, Americans for Schools and Ellis Jaxon Farms began a project in 2012, placing aeroponic farms at several local elementary and high schools. The concept puts the field inside the classroom.
Oh yeah, that's perfect. Good job.
Aeroponic towers can grow dozens of plants, yielding fruits and vegetables without any soil at all, and all at a cost of about $1,000 each. They constantly cycle. Once the crop is harvested, new plants immediately take their places on the tower. Each tower only takes up a space of about 3 feet wide by 8 to 10 feet tall, but they yield enough crops to actually feed children at their schools and even sell surplus to local restaurants. Now, 3 years since the towers were first implemented in Houston County, Georgia, attention is growing along with the crops. Recently, representatives from the United States Department of Agriculture took a close look at Westside Gardens at Westside Elementary in Warner Robins, one of the first schools in the country to actually create a garden classroom of aeroponic towers.
You can really tell that the kids are engaged. When you first walk out and kind of see these rockets in the middle of a field between two academic buildings, and you go out and you see garden, it's amazing just the feeling that you get that they're actually providing foods for the students.
Here, children as young as 7 and 8 years old begin to learn the organics of farming, from seed to sprout to produce. Starting in the classroom, children are taught the basics of aeroponics and then move to the actual garden of aeroponic towers. Here, they practice hands-on learning, growing their own produce to be served in their own cafeteria.
They're going to take ownership of what they're doing, and I think anytime you do that, you're going to be more successful with whatever you're trying to do. They have their hands in the soil per se, even though there's no soil, and so I think in terms of changing their eating habits, when they take on ownership of that, the products that they're growing, they'll be more likely to try those at home, and so I think it's going to have a positive impact on their eating habits and ultimately their health.
And the experience is opening up a whole new avenue of excitement and learning. First-year ag teacher Andrew Reeves at Thompson Middle School, not far away, says the energy for learning being generated is profound.
They're requesting on a daily basis for me to stay after school several hours. And the funny thing about it is it's not just the guys, it's the girls also. They're saying, hey, I want to stay and do something. Let me use the shovel. Let me plant the plant. Let me build something. So the excitement crosses all grade levels. It crosses every bound that we've ever seen. All the hurdles are covered.
Growing these gardens of goodness enables the students to see their academics applied realistically.
To me, this is the bridge. This is the scaffold. The kids are able to not only learn things, learn concepts in their classes, they're able to bring them concepts in and see this plant grow and see the harvest, and they understand money. They understand fractions, proportions, percents. All of this stuff all of a sudden starts making sense because they're actually doing it with their hands. They're seeing it, and it's long-term learning.
The program is falling directly in line with the guidelines set forth by the Healthy Hunger-Free Kids Act of 2010, creating pathways of education leading to applied science and results, better nutrition for our school children.
It's just bringing everybody to the table. You know, it's not just the third-party organizations, nonprofits, it's also the school systems, the community, parent volunteers. USDA will be the conduit of just bringing everybody together to the table to talk about what we can do, how we can partnership, and ultimately meet the goals of reducing childhood obesity and childhood hunger.
The brainchild of businessman Sean Kumar, with the help of other local entrepreneurs like Lee Pickard, they created Americans for Schools and Ellis Jaxon Farms. Americans for Schools deriving innovative funding methods, taking the place of fund drives like bake sales. Ellis Jaxon Farms implementing the programs themselves at schools like Westside Elementary and Northside High, where they have grown like weeds, something you actually don't see in aeroponic towers.
Charity only goes so far and then it ends. And then if you look at all the number of charities that have opened and closed and all, and being business people, we were looking for a sustainable solution, something that will allow a school system to continue to benefit rather than having to sell cookies and cakes and magazines. We've all had kids that have been in school, and you know the barrage of things that come home to raise money is just overwhelming.
During the recent tour by the USDA, the program became an eye-opener. Questions were fielded and readily answered, further bolstering these new stems of education and spreading the word, like bees spreading pollen, can help programs like these grow elsewhere.
Americans for Schools and Ellis Jaxon Farms organizers are hoping to branch out these efforts to other schools now. Hopes are that such an education for our school children not only will help them grow, but can assure a future sustaining a hunger-free environment. Thanks for watching. For Primetime News Network, I'm Perry Swanson.